I just can't right now. I am getting evicted. So yeah, I couldn't make enough money before the court date. So I had 10 days to get out of my apartment. And it is what it is. So life shall go on. What the fuck can I do about it? Nothing. It's already in process. That's just life. Life throws things at you and sometimes you just can't fucking catch it. I don't know what to fucking say. Literally, my lease ends in like 21 days. Like, this is my parents' house and I live like, well, I don't live here no more. And I don't live there no more. So where do I live? I needed like 4,000. It was like 39 something. I made like almost 2,000 at the strip club in 2 days. It was like 1,700 and some change. And it was like if I just had a couple more days, like I would have had the rest of the stuff, so I didn't get evicted. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm moving back to Pennsylvania, and I'm only moving there because the rent there is fucking cheap. My rent was $18.35 a month here in North Carolina. And the place I'm moving to is my brother's apartment. Pay for me. The rent between me and him up there, $250 each. $250? $500 a month? Yeah, I'm living with my brother. You have me so fucked up. Guys, I forgot I fucking bought this. This is the freckle pen. It actually looks super weird. Okay. I think I put too many fucking freckles. What else? We're just gonna go with the flow. Okay, so this is the look. I feel like I could not grow here. And I was losing a lot of fucking money because this place is way too expensive for the walls to be this thin. People are rude, like rude as fuck. I hated it here.
Listen, getting evicted with 21 days left is wild. And I'm going to be honest, I think she has the money. I think she has the money to pay. But I think what happened was once the plans with her brother started to materialize and shape, she saw an opportunity to be able to keep a little bit extra money in order to basically be set up when she gets to the next destination, because it'll go much further since the cost of living is much cheaper. But in my opinion, that's definitely not worth having an eviction on your record, because that's going to last a long time. And see, I thought she was just a single woman with no kids. And, even in that circumstance, I was going to say, don't bank on being with your brother for all this time. Don't evictions last like 7 years? Probably more than that. You think you're going to be with your brother for 7 years? No. So then eventually you're going to have to find something else. But she's short-sighted. And then when you add in, you have a small child, you can pretty much just set your clock on that. That's not going to last long with you staying with your brother. So to take the hit of getting that eviction, I feel like that's short-sighted. And I feel like that's going to ultimately come back to bite her. Before we get into the next clip, y'all, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually does help out and make a huge impact.
Story time on how I let a 42-year-old German lady that I met in a shelter live with me and my daughter in a hotel for 2 months. And it didn't go well. So about a year and a half ago, me and my youngest daughter were living in a shelter. We moved into a shelter. Reasons we'll talk about another time. But we moved in. The first few days we stayed to ourselves. Well, I kept us to ourselves. I stayed in the room. Then I started going down to the common area because you can't keep a fucking 3-year-old in a room. So I started going downstairs. And immediately my daughter was drawn to this one lady that was sitting on the couches in the common area because she was just really sweet to all the kids. Her name is Hannah. I'm not taking no names out. Her name was Hannah. So like I said, immediately my daughter took a liking to her. Like, she was like teaching her like colors, and this is like just normal like things. Felt like she was her teacher. Felt like she was like an after school program attendant or something. So after a while of that going on for a couple of days, I started to talk to her more and get to know her and see who she was. after that, we started to hit it off. I had no idea that she was so much older than me when I first met her, because we just seemed so alike, I guess. So after a while of me speaking to her or talking to her, well, obviously from the beginning, I already noticed that she talked weird. Like I didn't know if it was an accent or a speech impediment, so I was afraid to ask. So after we started to get to know each other a little bit more, I asked her like, "What is that? Why you talk like that?" And she was like, she from Germany. She told me she was from Germany, and I was like, "Damn, bitch, like that's so crazy. Like that's interesting, bitch. Tell me more." And that's when I get to hear about her story or why she is in the shelter. Now, what she told me was that she was from Germany. She met this American man online. They hit it off. They started dating. She came out here immediately to move with him. They got married, had kids. He started abusing her. All of it, the whole nine, like physical, all the physicals you can think of, mental, like all of that. And then he took her kids. When she tried to leave, he took her kids because she didn't have no money, and then left her with nothing. That was the story that I was told. At the time, it wasn't fishy, but after she started living with me, bitch, it got fishy. So like I said, we was in the shelter, and in the shelter, you only get a certain amount of time to be there, which was 8 weeks. My 8 weeks came up first because I guess I was there before her, and her 8 weeks came up after. So when my 8 weeks came up and I had to leave, I had nowhere to go. So I called the police. I told them, hey, me and my daughter are about to be put out this shelter. Can y'all help me? So they put us in a hotel that was not too far from the shelter. They put us in a hotel for 3 days and paid for it. After that 3 days, we had to pay for it ourselves. Now, during this time, Hannah's out date came. So she had nowhere to go. We were friends. I fuck with her. She fucked with me. So I told her to come to the hotel where I was at. At the time, was I thinking she was going to live there? No. Was I like opposed to it? No, because I liked her. And in my mind, this is helping my baby. We became friends. My daughter really liked her. I could probably get a job. Da, 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 da. Like, that's what's going through my head. Wheels are turning. So she came. She moved in. Things were not like I thought it was going to be.
This chick is goofy, man. Y'all do everything except just get a man. This is insane. This is. I say she's goofy because of all the places that you decide to meet somebody, and then you just, in your mind, have some semblance of thinking that they're a decent person to have around your child. You meet this person in a homeless shelter, which that could signal a traumatic background, possibly upbringing, possibly just life, and a chaotic life. And you decide, and listen, some people fall on hard times, but in general, that just that to me, that symbolizes a lot of trauma. And you decide it's a good idea to have this stranger, because she's still a stranger. Listen, worse, I'm gonna even give you some slack. I'm gonna say y'all both got to the shelter at the same time and y'all knew each other for 18 weeks. No, ma'am. You don't bring this woman to live with you and your child, no matter how you're trying to strategize it. You don't know this lady like that. It's just that simple. A lot of things could have happened, especially, listen, we'll get back into it.
Immediately, I'll always been Mrs. Money Moves. Even if I don't got a job, I'll always been Mrs. Money Moves. Maybe one day I'll open up and tell y'all how I was Mrs. Money Move, but as of right now, you just gonna know I was Mrs. Money Move. I'll always find a way to make some money come up out of nowhere. That's just how I was. But I figure, bitch, if you're gonna be living here too, you're gonna have to fit something. You're gonna have to do something. So the first like few weeks, cause in a hotel you have to pay weekly. This was like $500 a week. So the first few weeks I had paid it by myself because I didn't know where she was gonna get no money from. Then after a while, I had to tell her like, bitch, you gonna have to come up with some money. So she found a way to contact her brother in Germany, who was sending her money every night. Cause like it's morning for them and night for us. So she was getting money probably like 4 o'clock in the morning, some shit like that. So it was going well. She was getting her money, I was getting her money. It was no problem. So here's where the problem come in. Well, one of the problems. Problem number one. I didn't mention before, when we were in the shelter, she was going to see her kids that were taken from her on supervised visits every Wednesday. She was going for supervised visits every Wednesday to go see her kids. That she had to pay for. She had to pay for the person to come watch. Now, that should have been a...
I was just about to say that. That didn't make a red flag that she has to be supervised just to see her kids. And then you decide to move her in with your kid, and you're basically saying, oh, she could watch my kid, and now I can go to work. So you will be leaving her alone with your child. And she has to go on supervised visits just to see her child. I could already tell from the beginning that this chick is goofy.
Red flag on his own, because all the stuff that she was telling me, that he was the abuser, he did this, he did that, but you have supervised visits with your own kids that you shitted out. I don't know. That should have been a red flag. But fast forward back to when we were at the hotel, I just noticed a lot of things, like her just trying really hard. Like, maybe I was getting jealous. Like, she was just really involved in my daughter's life. Like, she was just trying so hard. Like, it was times where I would even notice my daughter getting irritated by, like, how, like, hands on and how, like, in her face she was. Like, she was just always lining, just, like, always in her face. She'd be asking me, well, do you want me to take her here, or can I take her there, or can we do this? And, like, just trying to be places alone with my daughter, just, like, always trying to take her places. It was just weird. So that led into me getting irritated by her. Once I started to get irritated by her, everything she did was just annoying. Her talking all the time was pissing me off. It's like she never stopped talking. She was the type of person to try to fill in the silence with stupid ass questions. It started to give me like Ella Man vibes. Like, I would be on the phone talking to my friends, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like she trying to steal my daughter. Like, I don't know, it was just weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Her relationship with my daughter was pissing me off. Her steady fucking talking all the time was pissing me off. Then it came into her, like, drive. She just, like, refused to do anything. And it's so crazy because I remember I used to be that 16-year-old living with all my cousins and all my aunties and shit, not doing nothing. I didn't understand how much it was blowing them. I started to motherfucking understand when I would get up in the morning at 8:30, take my daughter to school, then go back. While my daughter's at school, I'm on the computer trying to figure out ways to make some money, trying to figure out this, trying to figure out that. Like, I'm up being fucking productive. This bitch is still asleep on the floor on the fucking yoga mat and some blankets. I go to pick my daughter up at 3 o'clock. We come home. She's still on the floor, sleep. She didn't take the garbage out. She didn't cook. She ate. She didn't clean the bathroom. She didn't sweep. She didn't do any fucking thing that you would think somebody would do staying in your shit. I don't give a fuck if it wasn't my house, bitch. It's my hotel room. It's in my name. Then I just started to notice a lot of the little things that was just so inconsistent. Like, she stopped going to go see her kids, but made it seem like her abuser, her baby father, was abusive towards her and the kids, and that she was worried about the baby father being with the kids and not taking care of them. But you stop going to go see them, and you keep trying to, like. So the day of the final straw. Let's get to that day.
Please get to that.
It's fucking 4
Goodness
o'clock in the
gracious.
morning. I'm asleep.
Goodness gracious. Get to it. I see why it says put it in 2x speed.
I have to take my daughter to fucking school in the morning. This bitch is up fiddling around with shit. She wakes me up because I hear stuff in the room. And I'm looking, and I turn. It's a fucking flashlight. She got her phone flashlight on, and she's steady flashing it. She on the side of my bed flashing the flashlight. I don't know what the fuck she looking for, but I'm trying to be quiet and just let it pass, but she keep fucking doing it. It's pissing me off. And it's like a buildup of everything that I'm already feeling about this bitch. I blew up. I'm like, why the fuck you got that flash in my face? You know we fucking sleep. We got stuff to do. Da-da-da-da. I'm just going. I don't remember what I said. I'm just going off. She goes, you don't have to talk to me like that, Koya. I'm an adult. When she said that, bitch, I'm like, well, bitch, act like a fucking adult. You don't do this, but you got your ass up looking for something to go fucking smoke at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we got shit to do, and da-da-da-da. I was just going off. She kept talking about how she an adult, and I don't gotta talk to her like that. That was pissing me off. So I'm like, okay, yeah, bitch, you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, you gotta leave. You gotta leave. In the morning, you gotta get your stuff, and you gotta get out of my hotel room. She left.
So ultimately, she's crazy too, right? She's crazy. She's just crazy in a different way. Really, what I was picking up on is she just has a bad attitude. You can tell she's fighting it. She's fighting to try to keep it contained, but you can tell when it gets bad, it's bad. Just like she just exploded right there, which ultimately just comes down to, I guess, what they say, emotional intelligence, as well as just being able to communicate effectively, right? I don't think that that was warranted. I think you could have just communicated. See, what it sounds like is that she's gone this entire time not communicating, not saying anything, and things have been building up, and then she exploded. And that was not right. But what do you expect? It sounds like I wouldn't be surprised if this woman that you let stay with you, the German woman, I wouldn't be surprised if she was on drugs or something. And that's who you had around your child. And you thought that made sense. And I see this a lot. You know, I don't see a lot of the ladies that, especially that we review, prioritizing the children as they should. That should be one of your guiding stars. Every decision you make, you should be filtering it through how can this affect this small child? What can go wrong? You could have been the culprit that ended up being the reason that your child got traumatized, like it appears you and this woman are. And then the cycle would have continued.
This rental market kind of feels like the most discouraging thing I've ever experienced. Let me go back and paint a better picture for you. I'm pushing 30. I finally landed my dream 6-figure career. I've got a decent financial footing and I get a sick apartment. But then this happens. This here represents a near $1,000 increase in my rent over 2 years with some brand new fees that they decided to slap right on top. So naturally, I have to look around and find a new apartment because I can no longer afford where I currently live. But I keep noticing these new luxury apartment buildings literally everywhere. But one-bedroom apartments are starting at $2,500. And this is not a special case. Here's another example, and this one's not quite as new. This was built about 3 or 4 years ago, and one-bedroom apartments start at $2,489. And that's just the minimum. So now I have no choice but to move 45 minutes further away from my job. And it's so similar to the housing market. I don't know how people my age are supposed to keep up with what's happening. And the same story holds. Wages are not able to keep up with this increasing cost of living. But as I've said before, I'm not going to let this current circumstance dictate the way I live. I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to make some more money because I deserve to live a certain way. Even if that means paying $2,500 for one bedroom, I'm going to make it happen. Like, follow, and comment your thoughts.
Lifestyle creep. See, he done got a promotion. He done started making more money. And his first idea is to increase his lifestyle, not keep it the same or possibly even lower it so you can get double ahead. Because let me tell you something. He's acting like the next nearest thing he could find affordable is 45 minutes away. That's not true. Ultimately, he wants a luxury apartment with all the amenities. That's what it comes down to. That's what he wants. And ultimately, that's what he's prioritizing. And he's got to have it by any means. And that's his decision. That's cool. If that's that important to you. It does make a difference having amenities. I'm not going to lie. However, to act like there's nothing else affordable is simple economics. When new apartment buildings get built and they have all these amenities, because I'm going to be honest, the new apartments with these amenities, it definitely is apparent. There is a clear gap between those and the apartments, the regular apartments. So what do you think happens economically? In order for those other apartments, who used to be the top dogs, to compete, but that don't have all the upgrades and amenities in the sky pool, what do they have to do? In order for them to compete, they end up lowering the prices. So sure, the luxury apartments can charge more, but then the other apartments that were just fine yesterday, right? Because this is a relatively new thing, they actually become very affordable. And that's what I would just recommend that he do, especially since he just got the raise. Maybe you can even incentivize yourself. Hey, I'm going to go over here, save a little bit of money over the course of a year or whatever the case. And then if I hit milestone X, milestone Y, milestone Z, then I get to live in luxury apartments. And it just is what it is. I'll just spend what I got to spend. But yeah, I mean, you have to try to adapt and try to navigate this new landscape. There's a lot of other options he could have did to still find a affordable luxury apartment as well. But we're pretty much running behind schedule here. That other chick talked for too long and gave too much unnecessary information. So I had some other videos lined up, but I'll have to save them for another day. Y'all, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually does help out tremendously. Also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically when you hype, it actually pushes us to the scale that it pushes the larger content creators. So All you do is press the hype button and it'll show you the points. And since it is Monday, every Monday you get 3 brand new fresh hypes. So if you can hype, I greatly appreciate it. And then Patreon's link below as well if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.